Hi guys, my name is Chloe and this is the start of another weekly reading vlog. Today is Monday, December 30th. My husband took off Tuesday, like Christmas Eve, whatever that was, and he hasn't worked since. And so now today he's finally back at work. And I don't mean that like we don't like having him around, but I'm just such a routine person and I'm like ready for my routine to be back. And when it's just the three of us, I don't really plan a whole lot because our time, just the three of us, is rare typically, and I never know what he wants to do or but when it's just my daughter and I plan activities for us and keep us pretty busy, so it's a little more exciting, or at least a little something to talk about maybe. But so today it's like 9:30 in the morning. She just finished breakfast, all of that. I'm editing my Kindle Unlimited readathon vlog while she is playing for a little bit. And my mom is going to come over. And then, guys, I'm so excited. My sister is going to come over and she and I are gonna film a tag. And so everybody who's been asking for Alana Reads to come back, she's doing it. Woo! So she's gonna come back just for one video on my channel. And I'm telling you all this because that video will be out before this one is. So if you haven't watched it yet, I will link it. If I can figure out how to link it up in the cards, I will. Otherwise, I'll link it down below. And go watch that and give us a thumbs up or something. And hopefully the more comments and likes and stuff that video gets, the more likely she'll come back. I'm really, really hoping and pushing her to come back. So maybe this will be just the little bit she needs to come on back. So that's what's going on today. And then as of reading, last night I did start Fraternize by Rachel Van Dyken. It's one that I had on Kindle Unlimited, but I also obviously have it physically. And so I am just about done with this. I've got less than 100 pages. Are you okay? Okay. I've got less than 100 pages left, so I will finish this today. Probably not this morning because, like I said, Mom's coming over, then Alana's coming over, and then we're going to go to lunch with Alana and all of that. So I don't know if I'll finish this morning, but definitely by nap time. And then I might just keep going on the Kindle Unlimited stuff because I discovered that I have so much on my shelves that's also on there, and I read so much quicker. So that's what's going on today. I will check in when I have more to update, and that's all I've got. So we'll talk to you later. Hey guys, we just got home from lunch with my sister and one of her sons, and I sat down and finished the last few pages of Fraternize by Rachel Van Dyken. And I think I'm going to end up giving that book 3 stars. It was cute. It was a good romance. I love sports romances, so it really had that going for it. I don't think I ever even said what it was about, so let me just back up and say what it's about. It's about a girl who is kind of plus size, and she becomes a cheerleader for one of the NFL's top teams. And on that team is her childhood best friend, as well as this hotshot player. And every year the players make a bet. They pick a cheerleader and they try to win them over, we'll say. So this hotshot guy picks her. And there's also this childhood friend who was her first love and all of that. And they had a relationship back in high school. So it's a love triangle between them. And love triangles aren't my favorite. Both of the main characters are pretty unlikable, especially the hotshot player. I thought, I never liked him. And so when I'm talking about the chemistry between the two, I don't really like the chemistry, but I think it's more because I just don't like that main guy. And I don't know if he was supposed to be unlikable or if we're supposed to think like the kind of arrogant jerk thing is sexy, or what she was going for there. So if you've read this book, let me know if you got the same vibe or if you thought there was like some redeeming qualities about him, because he did have like a sweet side that showed, but really he was just a jerk. And I know the next book covers 2 different characters, but I just don't think I care enough about the world to continue. So that was Fraternize by Rachel Van Dyken. 3 stars. I don't really have anything else to say as of now. My husband is out of town for work today, so we're going to do nap time here soon, and I think I might go lay down and either start another book or watch some BookTube or just try to nap because I'm still kind of fighting this chest cold, whatever is going on. So that's the plan, and I will check in when I have more to say. Bye. Bye. Hi guys, it is Tuesday, December 31st, so happy New Year's Eve. It's about 8:15 in the morning, and I was just coming on quickly to tell you that I did start and finish a book last night. I didn't pop on at all to talk about it just because I wasn't feeling very good, and it was just kind of a crazy night. We had a lot going on, so what I read was Highly Illogical Behavior by John Corey Whaley, and this book was about a boy who is agoraphobic and a girl who is kind of a perfectionist, kind of do-gooder. She will do anything to achieve academically, and she wants to get into a psych program for college, and the essay asks her to write about her experience with mental health. So she decides she wants to interview or get to know this boy, this agoraphobic boy. And so she becomes friends with him, and what happens next is their friendship, and she brings her boyfriend in to hang out with them, and the three of them become friends. And I really liked the friendship, and I thought that was really good. I liked the character growth. All of them really grew quite a bit. I loved her boyfriend. His name was Clark, and I felt like he was just very mature. They are juniors in high school, and this kid just seemed to like really have his head on his shoulders about the right thing to do and how to treat people and what he wanted, and he just seemed very, very mature. So really liked him. The things I didn't love about the book were I personally don't have any experience with agoraphobia. I don't suffer from it personally, and I don't know anybody that does, but it felt like the boy, his name is Solomon, his progress in regards to that seemed very quick and relatively easy, and I just don't think it really happens that way. But like I said, I could be completely misconstrued about my ideas, so I don't know about that. I also thought the book was a little bit formulaic in the plot line overall. I really liked the way it did friendships. I liked the way it did character growth. I liked the journey. So that's not to say it's a terrible thing. It was just pretty, you could see what was coming, pretty predictable, pretty formulaic. So overall, I gave that 3.5 stars. I am really surprised I liked it as much as I did. It's a really short book, so it's pretty quick and easy to read. So I would recommend it if you're into YA. It deals with things like agoraphobia, obviously. It deals with unrequited love, sexuality, all sorts of different things. You can look more on Goodreads. Somebody, I'm sure, is talking about it much more eloquently than I am, but that one was really good. And now I'm waiting on my daughter to get up, and as soon as she does, my husband is going to work from home this morning, and then this afternoon our football team is playing in a bowl game against Navy, so we're going to watch that. And then I went to 2 different colleges. I went to one for my undergrad and one for my master's. And so my undergrad team is playing at 2:45, and my master's team is playing at 6, I think, sometime this evening. So today is going to be just a day of football, and we're all super excited. I'm wearing my purple right now. That's the undergrad team. And then I'll be wearing my orange later tonight. My daughter, she's going to be so excited because she loves football. She's a girly girl, and she loves her bows and her accessories and her purses. Like, she's very girly, but this girl loves sports. If you can see our house, which I'm sure you've seen glimpses, we've got a little basketball hoop, we've got a soccer goal, and she will ask for the TV to be on just for football or soccer or something. She'll say, run, 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 and that's what she wants to watch on TV, despite the fact that we've tried to do Elmo and all that kind of stuff. She wants to watch sports, so she's going to be excited to have a day of football. And then as far as reading goes, I am reading The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin. And I read Young Jane Young by her, and I really liked it. And this one is about a bookstore owner, and I think it's kind of the classic curmudgeon-y guy, gets softened up by this little girl, and I think it's going to be just kind of a classic story, but set in a bookish world. And so far I'm really liking it. I'm about a third of the way through or so I'll probably finish that today because it's pretty short as well. So I'll probably finish that today, and I don't know what else. I am going to run to our urgent care as soon as she gets up because my lungs and stuff are just burning, and I don't know. Like I said, my daughter has bronchitis, and she should be over it, but they called it bronchitis and walking pneumonia. And with being pregnant, I just don't want to take any chances of pneumonia. And the burning, I said I was feeling better, and then last night it was just really bad. So, and then this morning it's like I can't catch a breath without it just burning all along. So I'm going to go to urgent care. He's going to stay here with her, and then we're going to come back and maybe go to lunch today or something, and otherwise just be tucked in. It's balmy 27 degrees outside, so no snow right now or anything, but we'll try to get as much done as we can this morning so then we can just tuck in this afternoon. So that's what was going on. I will come back on later and update you when I have something to say. Bye. Hi guys, it's about 6 o'clock on New Year's Eve, December 31st, and I just finished The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry, and I really liked it. It was 4 stars, 3.5 probably actually for me. It is a story of kind of a curmudgeon guy. He's actually not that old. He's like 39 at the beginning of the story, so he's not old. He's just, his wife has died, and it's kind of made him, just curmudgeon and hard on life and just grouchy. And so he, one day, somebody leaves a baby in his store with a note that says they want her to be raised bookish, and he owns a bookstore, so they're leaving the baby for him. And so at first he's like, what the heck am I going to do with this? So he calls his sister-in-law, Esme, and she helps, and then he falls in love with this little girl pretty quick. And I loved seeing that and seeing how this little girl, she I think was like 2, could soften this curmudgeon guy. So that was really sweet. It kind of reminded me of a man called Uva. But there's a lot more characters. Like, we really get to know his sister-in-law. There's a publisher's agent or whatever that comes and brings him arcs every season from her publishing company, and so we get to know her. We get to know the town cop, and the character development was really good for such a short book, and I felt like we really knew them and connected to them, and this story was overall just really heartwarming and cute. The only complaint I have is a personal preference thing. It's told in third person omniscient with a narrator's point of view, so everything is kind of like outside. So it's, AJ did this, Esme did this, Maya did this, and it's just telling from like an observer outside. And for me, that just makes it hard to connect, and it makes it also just kind of go slow. And so even though this is a really quick book, at times I was like, it just could have been more interesting and more engaging to me if it was a different writing style. But again, that's my personal preference. So 3.5 stars, cute. I know a lot of people love this, and I can totally see why. And if it was a different writing style, I think I would have too. So that was very good. I didn't read any more in All She Ever Wanted by Lynn Austin, just because we have been watching football. Our team just lost in a heartbreaker. 2 seconds left. The other team kicked a field goal and beat us by 3. So that's a bummer. As you can see, I'm wearing black because I wanted to just kind of be neutral for now the games are going to switch, and it's going to go to my master's school team. So I'm wearing black. And that's that. We're about to eat dinner, and I probably won't check in anymore tonight because I don't think I'll get anything significant read. I'm feeling pretty rough, and last night was a bad night, so I think tonight there's only so much I can take being pregnant, so I'm on my Z-Pack, and then I think I might take like some Tylenol PM because you can take that, so hopefully just cash out, get a good night's sleep. I know it's a rockin' New Year's Eve, but so it goes. We have a 2-year-old, and I'm sick, so woohoo! Maybe we'll watch the New York or something, and I don't know, maybe see if we can get a broadcast from like London or somewhere where it maybe already happened. So that's all. Hope you guys have a wonderful new year, and we'll see you next year. Guys, happy New Year's. It is January 1st and it's about 9:30 in the morning, and I'm just coming on for a quick update. I don't have a whole lot to say bookish wise. I'm still reading All She Ever Wanted by Lynn Austen, and I'm loving this book. I think I had talked about it in my Kindle Unlimited Readathon TBR, but what this book is about, I thought it was about a girl or a woman who leaves her hometown like in a hurry, doesn't want to ever go back, and then for some reason she has to go back with her daughter. And that is what it's about. But it's about so much more. I'm almost halfway. I'm reading it on my Kindle, so I don't have it marked in here, but I'm almost halfway. And so far, we've met the woman and her teenage daughter, and they are indeed going back because the woman's dad is having a birthday party. Her sister's throwing her dad a birthday party. So they're going back. But the majority of this book is the mom's childhood and then even her mom's childhood. So it's not present day. I knew there would be a lot of family drama and figuring out like what's going on in this family, but it's not present day. It's figuring out there's a lot of tension between mother and daughter, as there often is. And so the daughter in this book is trying to figure out why her mom is the way she is. And then she said, well, why was your mom the way she was? And so now we're hearing her mom's story. And I am loving this. It is so, so good. It's like the grandma, I guess it would be. She has passed away now, but her story is in like World War II times. And it's just very, very interesting and very good. So I'm about halfway through. I'm hoping to finish this today. I'm still not feeling really good. My husband's got like the sinusy stuff going on, so I don't know if he's got a little bug, but regardless, it's New Year's Day. Nothing's really open, so I don't think we're going to go out a whole lot today. So hopefully this should be no problem to finish. Last night, an update on all the football games, if anybody cares. My undergrad team is the Kansas State Wildcats. As you can see above me, I've got the pendants of my two teams, but they lost in a last minute heartbreaker. And then the Longhorns, the Texas Longhorns, right there, they blew Utah out of the water. And that was so unexpected and so nice. We didn't watch like really the first half because first of all, we both kind of blew it off as the Big 12 is just not going to win anything this year. And so many of you probably don't care at all. So I'm going to talk really fast. But so we didn't watch the first half. Instead, we went and drove around and looked at Christmas lights because that's something we wanted to do with my daughter. But then she was so sick over Christmas, so we didn't go. And my husband has a pickup truck, so we put her car seat in the back, and so she's got the whole window so she can see, and she was so excited. So it was really fun. I will insert a couple pictures. I didn't take a whole lot of pictures, but there's two houses that were pretty neat, and the pictures don't do it justice, of course. But so we drove around and looked at lights and then came home, and we were all so tired, and so put my daughter to bed. I went to bed shortly after, and then my husband fell asleep watching football. So I don't think any of us made it anywhere near midnight, but oh well. So today I'm just going to read that book, and I will come back up when I have more to say. Bye. Hey guys, so it is about 5 o'clock on January 1st. It's still Wednesday, so I just was going to come on and tell you I just finished All She Ever Wanted by Lynn Austen, and this book was really good. I gave it 4 stars. It was about 4 generations of women. So the book starts out with Kathleen and her daughter Joelle, and they are just at odds. Kathleen is a CFO of a big company, and she's perfectly content to just be with her family, her husband and her daughter, and no need for extended family. Her daughter is just going through teenage rebellion. She's shoplifting and doing all those things, and Kathleen is very religious and very moral. And so that really throws her for a loop, as well as she gets an invitation in the mail for a party that her sister is throwing for her dad. So they aren't going to go. She throws it away and pretends it doesn't exist because she would love to ignore her extended family. But her daughter finds it. She and her daughter start going to counseling to try to figure out their relationship, and they decide to go because it's important to the daughter. The husband I forget what he does. He does something where he travels like
all over the world, and so he's gone, so it's just the daughter and the mom going on this trip. And this book is all about mother-daughter relationships, and truthfully, I have a daughter, and I'm pregnant with another child. I don't know if it's another daughter or not, but this book kind of made me nervous about mother-daughter relationships, but also made me really just think about how I'm going to raise my daughter. Because basically, this story is about misunderstanding your mom and lessons you could learn if you just listened to your mom and if your mom told you the truth about her past. Joelle doesn't understand her mom, Kathleen, and that's a lot of the problem between them. And then Kathleen didn't understand her mom, who was Eleanor, and so there was a lot of problems between them. And Eleanor didn't understand her mom, who was Fiona, and so there was a lot of problems between them. And it's like none of the generations before or after learned from the generations before. So they kept making mistakes that if they just communicated well with their moms, they would have learned different lessons, or at least understood a little bit of why they were the way they were and how to kind of embrace that instead of rebel against it. So I thought that was just really interesting. This book was little, like 400, and it's right around 400 pages. I don't know. And it took me a while to read just because it goes back and forth in time. So the timeline things, and just we go very in depth in all of the story. So there's a lot of characters, and it was a little confusing. It was one where I did need to kind of write down a family tree of who all was who, just so I could kind of recenter myself a couple times in the book and be like, okay, this is the time we are. This is how everybody connects. And just keep it all straight in my head. So it's not one that you can just sit down and fly through. It was 400 pages that took me the better part of a day and a half, which we have nothing going on. So it shouldn't have taken me that long, but it just was one that you kind of had to focus on. So this was really good. I liked it, gave it 4 stars. Like I said, I would highly recommend it. It is pretty historical in the sense that a lot of it takes place either in the 40s or the 20s. And so I have said I'm not a huge fan of historical fiction, and I think I need to amend that because I am. It has to be done right, and I think this one was done pretty right. So really liked that. Now though, I need something that's just kind of a palate cleanser that, like I said, that one required so much focus and thinking and connecting all the dots, and I am sick right now, and so doing that is kind of exhausting. So next I'm going to read About a Girl by Lindsay Kelk. And I've read one other book by Lindsay Kelk. It was I Heart London or Manhattan or whatever, the first one in her I Heart New York series, maybe. I'm not sure what the series is, but I've read one by Lindsay Kelk. That's what I'm trying to say. And she's just a good chick lit author. So I'm going to read this one next and hope it's just an easy breezy, kind of clear your head sort of read, and then go from there. So that's that. I made some black-eyed pea soup, like Creole black-eyed pea. It's kind of like a gumbo thing. So we eat that every New Year's because it supposedly brings you good luck. It's got greens in it and all the supposedly lucky foods. So here's to hoping for a good 2020. And I think we're just going to eat that and then maybe watch some more football. We are a big college football family. And right now it's the end of the football season. It's all the bowl games, and then it's done until August. And so we just kind of, even if we don't care about the games, we watch them just to have the comforting noise of football in the background. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Tomorrow is my sister's birthday. So if you guys are Alana fans from Alana Reads, shout her out below. Give her a happy birthday. I'm just thinking this through. You're actually not going to see this until after her birthday. So give her a belated if you want to. She's turning a big number this year. So I won't bust her out and tell you what year it is, but it's a big one and it's fun. So hopefully she has an awesome day, and that is all. I will talk to you later. Bye. Hi guys, today is Thursday, January 2nd, and it's about 8:45 in the morning, and I just finished my second book of the year. I finished No, I Don't Want to Join a Book Club, The Diary of a 60th Year by Virginia Ironside. And this book was really not good. It was, excuse me, just about a girl, a woman who turned 60. And this is just her diary of like random musings. Um, it's really like boring, uninteresting. She has been divorced, and her son and his girlfriend or fiance maybe are having a baby, and she keeps in touch with her brother-in-law and her brother-in-law's husband, and then she has like a woman living with her, and it's just random musings that are, I guess, comical, but I gave this 2 stars. I would not recommend it. It was not very good. So that's that. I'm still currently reading About a Girl by Lindsay Kelk, and I'm actually really disappointed in this one too. I have read her before and really liked her, but this one is just kind of boring, and it's 400 pages long, which for a contemporary is a lot. And this one's about a girl who she gets fired. Both of these books actually are set in the UK, so I really do like that they're British, but this one she gets fired or made redundant, and she is at home, and she shares an apartment with this terrible girl, and she gets a call from the terrible girl's boss saying they need her to go to Hawaii right away, and she is a photographer for a fashion magazine. And so this girl, her name is Tess, decides to take the job and pretend to be her roommate. So she goes to Hawaii. She's made friends with some of the other people on the job, like the writer. She's supposed to be the photographer, and it's just like, first of all, the whole premise, like, you can't, I guess her roommate's a crappy photographer anyway, so they won't be able to tell that it's not her, but then how does she have such a good job, and how does her roommate not know? And it just seems, I don't know, it's just, I think part of it is I'm still sick and feeling crummy, and so I feel like I'm like meh, meh, meh about everything. So this book so far is shaping up to be like a 3 star, and probably not something I would recommend or read again, but we'll see. I'm hoping to finish it today. I'm over halfway. I'm like 2/3 of the way done. So that's that. The plan for this morning today is the first official, like, husband's back at work and normal routine sort of day. Today is my sister's birthday, so that's fun. Her and my mom go shopping all morning, and then she's doing stuff with her boys in the afternoon. So we might try to meet up with them sometime this morning if she wants us to. I don't know if she wants a 2-year-old and a coughing person. So we might meet up with them. Otherwise, I don't really know what the plan is. Grocery store, other errands, just kind of getting back in the groove of life. So that's the plan for today, and I will check in when I finish About a Girl or if I start anything else.
Hi guys, I'm just coming on with a quick update. I'm trying to talk loud enough that you can hear me, but my daughter cannot. It is nap time, and I just finished About a Girl by Lindsay Kelk. And as I said earlier, it is a 3-star book. I just thought it was too long for a contemporary romance, kind of chick lit. It was very much what I wanted, in that it was very lighthearted and not a whole lot to think about. But the girl goes to Hawaii, Tess, and pretends to be her roommate Vanessa, and takes pictures for this fashion mogul or whatever. And the head honcho guy, he is retiring and doesn't want to do interviews, so they're working with his son. And Tess becomes good friends or close with the writer that's going to interview whoever. And long story short, that ends up happening. She's also got her male best friend, back home, so there's a little bit of a love triangle there. I thought Tess was really annoying and whiny, and the story was pretty formulaic as far as this genre goes. There's, kind of, she loses her job, down on her luck, does something crazy, gets herself in trouble. There's secrets. The secrets are found out. She comes home, and there's a love triangle, and it just all felt like something I've read a million times before, but done better. And so I didn't really love it. And this one also ends on a cliffhanger where you don't know who she ends up with, and she's also given 2 different job opportunities at the end, and you don't know which one she takes, which kind of forces you to read the sequel. And unfortunately, I don't care about fashion photography, and I didn't like the main character. So there was really nothing for me to like grasp onto. Not that I have to completely relate to every story, but like I just didn't like anything. And after 400 pages, I had enough. I don't need to read the sequel or series. I'm not sure how many there are, but I don't think I'll continue on. I probably wouldn't recommend it, especially if you haven't read Lindsay Kelk. I would not start there. I don't know if it's just a case of the wrong book at the wrong time because, like I said, I'm sick and grouchy and like kind of need something great. But I don't know. 3 stars for that one. Then I picked up, while we were out and about, I picked up The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. And Sarah Dessen, for me, I really like her, but I have to be in the mood for her because she's very YA and just very teen. And so I can do her books like sporadically and when I'm in the mood for them. And I think right now that just kind of sounds good. So I'm going to read that, and I'm like a chapter into it, so I don't even have a lot to say. I just went in completely blind. It's something that my library had on Overdrive that I also have on my shelves. And we were out and about, and I didn't have my book, and we unexpectedly had like half an hour, and that never happens. So that I don't have a book or anything. So that's why I started reading it. And so I'm gonna go finish. We should hopefully have like 45 minutes of nap time left. So I'm gonna go try to get more into that, and I will update more later. Hey guys, so it is Friday, January 3rd, and we are in the car, and I feel like it's been a long time since I've updated, but for you it'll be just a second. So I can't remember exactly what was going on in the last time I updated, but I finished The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen this morning, and it was 3.5 stars. It was a very typical Sarah Dessen. It was a teen, angsty, lots of complicated relationships with romantic and familial, and I thought it was one of the better Sarah Dessens. In this one, the main girl is Macy, and she's dating this guy who's an overachiever, brainiac, and just super smart guy, and he kind of motivates her to be the same. And so he goes away to some sort of summer camp, and while she's at home, she's taking his job at the library. And then her mom is some sort of like real estate agent and developer, and so she's hosting some big event, and Macy gets kind of roped in with the caterers. And so in that group of caterers, she finds just a great group of friends. It's a woman and then her 2 nephews and 2 other sisters that are family friends. And Macy kind of gets in with that crowd. And I loved seeing how Macy grew throughout the story. She starts very perfectionist, very rigid. She goes home after work every day and studies and does everything she's supposed to do. She's very rigid in that, and it's very much, she does it because that's her routine, and she doesn't break her routine. And then through her friendship with the people she meets, she really grows and discovers herself and kind of can break out of that. And I thought I just can relate a lot to being so routine and so rigid that you're almost kind of trapped in it. And so I really like seeing her growth in that. But that's not the main focus of the story. But anyway, I thought that was one of the better Sarah Dessens that I've read. Still 3.5 stars, so nothing mind-blowing, but that was good. Now I have nothing going right now. I'd finished that book, and then we have been out and about, so I have not started anything else. Yesterday we went to a bunch of free little libraries around our town because I had a big box of bag of books from my unhaul, which if you haven't seen it yet, it is up, so I will link it either in the cards or down below. And so we went to one of to little free libraries, and the first one we went to is normally one of the best, and we went and it's not there anymore. Like the stand is there, but the box is gone. And so that punked us. So then we went to some other ones, and I didn't find anything that I wanted, which is good because I'm trying to take down my TBR, not add to it. So it's a good thing I didn't find anything. And then that was about it for interesting and or bookish stuff yesterday. Yesterday was kind of a dud. And then today we got up and ate breakfast, and then we went, some of my friends, her girls are
older. They're still not old, but they're like school age now. And so she gave us a stuffed Mickey and Minnie, and my daughter is like stoked about it. And we're going to Disney World on the 18th. And so we're just, as much Mickey and Minnie as we can deal with is what we're doing right now. Really getting her pumped up and getting us all excited to go. So we got the Mickey and Minnie, and then we went to the library. My daughter loves going to the library, and today's Friday. It's cold. There's nothing to do. So we went to the library, and then last month, I believe, early November, my grandmother had a health scare, and she had some heart issues, and she was in the hospital, and long story short, it knocked her down pretty hard. And so she now is home and doing very well, but she's not driving or anything yet. So we went to the library and we picked a bunch of books for her. So I picked some, my daughter picked some, and it's really fun. We're actually sitting outside of her house right now. We're going to go take those in and show her what we got her. She's a big mystery fan, but we also got her some other stuff. And The Help, I don't know if she's read that yet, but that seems like it would totally be her cup of tea. So we got that for her if she hasn't read it. Reading that and watching the movie sounds so fun. I kind of feel like joining her and doing a little buddy read. So that's what we're doing now. I will update probably later this evening when I have picked up a book. I've got a whole list of audiobooks that are just sitting like in my list of things that I need to get to. So I think I'll probably pick up an audiobook as well as a physical book. So hopefully by this evening I'll have two different things to update you on, and hopefully they're both awesome. So we'll talk to you later.
Good morning, guys. It is Saturday, January 4th, and I've had to film this so many times because I keep wanting to say December 4th. Not right. It is January 4th. I haven't had to say the date of 2020 yet, but I'm sure writing it and everything I'm going to screw that up for a long time. But I just was going to pop on for a quick update. I didn't come on last night because my husband told me he has to go to Canada in the morning, and so he kind of sprung that on me, and so we're scrambling, trying to figure out how to get everything done with him being in Canada, or if he can get out of it or what's going on. So that's what's going on with us. I started Within Reach by Barbara Delinsky last night, and I started this on audio because it's a pretty big chunker, and I'm not sure if I'm going to love it, and so I felt like getting through it on audio might be a little bit better. This one's about a woman who is married to a politician, and she's the daughter of a politician, and so she's just like kind of a society wife, and she gets this house in Maine. They live in Boston. She gets this house in Maine as kind of like a summer house that her and her husband can go to and hopefully reconnect because they're having problems in their marriage. So she gets that house hoping they'll reconnect, but the husband never goes, and instead she meets this neighbor who their family is in like tabloids and publicity and reporting and stuff. So the two families have never really gotten along because one's in politics and one's like trying to expose things. And so they don't really get along, but these two people have a connection. So this is kind of a Romeo and Juliet, but she's married. And so it's interesting. I'm probably about halfway through it on audio. It's a really long, it's like 14 or 15 hours on audio. So I listen at 2.5 times speed, and hopefully I'll get through it pretty quick, but hopefully finish this today. And then I set out a bunch of books that I was thinking about reading, and I let my daughter pick, which I probably should have filmed, but I didn't. It was pretty anticlimactic, and she picked The Hot Flash Club by Nancy Thayer, which I think is just funny, but it's so pink, I'm not really surprised. So I might start this physically today. Today we are going to my sister's best friend from like middle school. When we first moved here to Kansas, she became friends with this girl when they were like 13. And so I was 4 because my sister is 9.5 years older than me. So this girl has been like a family member and another sister, and so she's in town. She lives a couple hours from us, but she's in town today, so we're gonna go over and see her and hang out for a little bit, and then go to lunch and just kind of hang out and and see where the day takes us. So I don't know how much reading I'll get done. I also want to start editing this vlog because I realized before this clip I already have 40 minutes of footage, and I really don't want to make a vlog that's an hour long, but it might end up being that. So I'm going to start editing and hopefully start reading and hopefully finish this audiobook. So big plans today. Tomorrow is, I guess my husband's going to be in Canada, so we're going to be by ourselves, so it's kind of survival mode, so we'll see how much gets done then, but hopefully this weekend is full of reading, so we'll check in and let you know. Hi guys, so I just finished Within Reach by Barbara Delinsky, and that's going to be another 3-star read for me. This one was 530 pages, which is just too dang long for a romance. I think it could have used like 150 less pages, maybe even 200, and it would have been a lot better. So like I said earlier, this one is about a woman who's unhappily married to a politician, and so she buys a house in Maine hoping that'll be a little getaway from home for them, and instead she meets a neighbor and she falls in love with him. And it's a lot of insta-love, and so the rest of the story is full of politics and just her trying to find happiness, whether it be with her husband or with this other guy or whatever. And I thought that it was just, it was silly. I wish she would have just done what she wanted to do earlier, but then there's a big scandal, and so that, I guess, was supposed to bring intrigue, but it was set up perfectly for a twist at the end, and it just didn't happen. And if it's going to be 530 pages, I think it needs to be something more interesting than just your common run-of-the-mill love story, and for me, it just wasn't. So 3 stars, and that's it. So now it's almost 5 o'clock, or it is 5 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and start making dinner. I have got a migraine, and so that's lovely, and it's just that I'm prone to them, so I get them a lot, but hopefully that means tonight I don't know how much reading I'll get done. Maybe a little bit. My hold for The Witness by Nora Roberts just came in on my library hold, and so I might pick up that. That's an ebook, so I might do that, and I'm really not sure. So I will come on an update probably tomorrow morning and let you know what I picked, if anything, at that point, and where to go from here. So we're on January 4th, and I've already finished at least a book a day, so this is crazy and a really good thing, and we'll see how long we can keep it going. Talk to you later. Hi guys, it is Sunday, January 5th, and I'm just coming on to give you an update because last night I started a book and then this morning I finished it. And the book I read was Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon, and I was shocked how much I liked this book because I read The Sun Is Also a Star by her and thought it was just okay. It was not that great, and so I was really surprised when I really liked this book. This one, if you haven't heard of it, it is about a girl who's pretty much allergic to everything, and so she can't leave her house. So the only people she physically interacts with are her mom and her caretaker, and she does school online and all that kind of stuff, and if anybody's going to come see her, they have to be super sanitized and all of that. So she lives this very, very sheltered life, and I just loved seeing, and I forgot to say, she is very bookish, and I don't know if nobody mentioned that when I watched reviews or if I just didn't see people talking about it, but I loved that she was so bookish, and all she can do is read and then watch what's going on outside. She can't really do anything else because she can't leave her house, so she loves to read, and she talks a lot about books, and anyway, then she starts watching out her window, and a new family moves in next door, and it's a boy and a girl and their parents, and so she kind of observes what goes on with them, and she starts an email friendship with the boy. So the rest of the book is just her relationship with this boy, and I just loved seeing her grow. Her name's Maddie. Love seeing Maddie grow and see how she just chose to live. You know, despite everything that's going on with her, she chose life over necessarily safety or whatever, and I think that was just so cool to see and so inspiring, and just I mean, kind of like in a weird way got me thinking about like, what's the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to live, so like, do you, girl. And so loved it, and I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was way better than expected, so I think that helps that I went in with such low expectations, but I really liked it. If you haven't read Nicola Yoon, I would definitely say start there, not at The Sun Is Also a Star, but I don't know. I don't think I'm the popular opinion. I can't remember if there's one that people in general liked better than the other, but Anyway, so life update. Yesterday we went to my sister's house and it was so fun. My daughter, at the end of every day, I ask her what her favorite part about the day was, and we say like what we're grateful for and that kind of stuff. And she's not even 2, so it's very basic conversation. But so I asked her yesterday and last night, and she said she was happy that she went to my sister's house, and she was shooting hoops with Ruru, which is my sister's oldest son is Andrew, and he's almost 13, and he's a full grown man. He's taller than I am. He's like 5'7" something and 170. Like, he's just a full grown man. And he played basketball with my little 26-pound 2-year-old, and it was just melts my heart. And it was her favorite part because he also let her listen to all of her favorite music, which right now includes Bye 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 by NSYNC. And I just said it, and she looked at me like, why is Alexa not playing it? Because we listened to it over and over and over and over. Jingle Bell Rock and You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Those 3 songs on repeat. And he listened to that and played with her, and it was just so sweet. So that was her favorite part of the day, as well as we went to Olive Garden for lunch, and they were out of kids' cups, so they gave her a full-size cup with a lid, and her big water was her other favorite thing of the day. So it was just so fun. Now today my husband is in Canada, and so it's about 10:30 in the morning, and my dad came over early this morning. And guys, I thought I was the type of person who liked to keep things and like was pretty sentimental about things. But then I met my husband. My husband takes it to a whole new level. My dad is like super organizer, so we are just working together to kind of organize, especially our moving date. I know I had said we were moving on the 2nd, but the bank messed things up and didn't get their stuff done in time. So now it's Wednesday the 8th, so we have not moved yet. And so we're still prepping to move. Anyway, long story short, today we're going to continue to organize. I'm going to go through like our medicine cabinet, and I've got like a candle closet that's got candles and scentsies and all that kind of stuff, and just get rid of stuff that we don't use or need, because somehow we've lived here. It'll be 4 years in March. And so somehow we've accumulated so much stuff. We moved in here we bought the house right before we got married and moved in and started doing stuff. Jeremy did before we got married. And then so we got married and now have had a kid. And it's just somehow we have got so much stuff in this house that we just don't need. So we're going to be making lots of Goodwill trips today. And I think we're going to go to lunch with my dad. And then that's it. Since Mom's gone and my husband's gone, he's going to come over for dinner and hang out with us. And I'm just so grateful for that, because anybody who is a stay-at-home mom knows that days just you and your kid, especially when it's just one kid, I feel like I don't know. I don't know why I said that, because it's probably worse with multiple kids, but it's just like I'm her sole entertainment. And so it just makes for long, long, long days. And I'm still feeling a little rough, but whatever. You're probably tired of hearing that, because it's been going on for a better part of a week or more. I don't know. And so long story short, awesome to have him come over and help. And then that's that. So as far as reading goes, which is why we're here, sorry to take so much of your time otherwise, but I picked up my ebook that I said just came in from the library. It's called The Witness by Nora Roberts, and I'm very, very early into it. And so far it's about a girl who, her mom is a doctor and kind of has this path laid out for her that she's going to be a doctor and all that kind of stuff, but that's not what she wants. This girl's life sounds just very, very regimented and not by her choice. So I think she's going to probably break out of that. And I don't know. I don't really know anything about it. I just have been going through my shelves and looking at my biggest books, and like any tomes I have, those are intimidating to me. So I'm just knocking them out and trying to find them if I can on ebook or audiobook, so I can make them a little more accessible and hopefully get them done that way. And so a lot of these books that I've been reading lately have been 400 or 500 pages, and my upcoming kind of TBR is I'm just trying to knock those out. So the other thing I think I might pick up today, but this probably not, is I was just watching Brie from Falling for Romance. I was just watching her, or is her name Brie Hill? Her old channel was Brie Hill. I don't know. Regardless, I will link her down below, because she is awesome. I really love her. And she shouted me out on Instagram yesterday, and I totally fangirled. I was at my sister's, and I was like, oh my gosh, Alana, Brie Hill just said something about me on Instagram. Oh my gosh. And so whatever. I love her. And she was talking in one of her videos. I'm way behind, so it's probably an older video, but she was talking about Lavrel Spencer and reading something from her. And my sister had given me 3 or 4 of Lavrel Spencer's books, and I'm not sure if I'm going to like them. And I found one on Audible, and I do have Audible, and so I might use a credit to get one of her books and just try her out and see if I like her, because they have one of the ones that I have on my shelf. So I might try that. That would be a shorter book and just something to kind of listen to as I'm running around all day today. So that's it. The book that my daughter picked for me yesterday, that physical book, I don't know that I'm going to get to that anytime soon. So I may just edit that part out, or just know that I'm a terrible mother and I don't listen to what she picks. So that's everything. If I don't get back on at all today to update anymore, because I can't anticipate that I will finish anything. The Witness, like I said, is really long, and if I start the Lavrel Spencer book, I don't think I'll listen to the whole thing today. So I probably won't get back on. I'll probably end the vlog here, because then I can edit right now, and then I'll start another vlog either tonight or tomorrow for next week. So thank you for watching. This is a really long one, really rambly. Let me know if you mind these long ones, because I have got to be a little more concise. But like I said, I want these to be my memories as well as communicating and sharing with you guys. So sorry for the chattiness. I hope you stuck with me this long, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.